Golly. Oh, that's Eunice. AMJC. Huh. Okay. Must be. REC. Yeah, that's Hobbs. It's a lot. Okay. Let's get
Did you know that Lee County State Bank drive-up lanes are open late? Interactive tellers give you convenient, extended drive-through hours Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7
All right,
p.m.
mic one,
Lee County
mic
State
check,
Bank
mic check, mic
ITM
check.
speed.
1, 1, 1. You're on. You're up and on.
Test 1, 2. Test, test.
Okay. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. All right. Check, check, check. It looks like I'm louder, but I'm not against you. This one is just you're strong. You're loud.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yep. See, you're peeking above me actually, so I'm good. But it looks, if you look over here, it looks like I'm turned up more, but I'm not
good.
peeking up more. I'm not any more than you. Dang, we got a buttload of sponsors. Golly. Okay. All right, I'm going to open up Boxcast, and then I'll be ready.
Okay. You have our record?
Yeah, we're 25-2.
Okay.
You can get your Lady Eagle programs in the lobby for $3.
Oh, okay, okay. Must be the other one. Never seen this look like this before. Never seen this look like this before.
Hey, aren't they? They're just usually the TV screens, aren't they?
Oh, well, it's just I've never seen that. I've logged on and never seen this come up like this. There's nothing up top.
Yeah. Are those games
That's
listed
weird.
there?
No, it's weird. It's like El Dorado. It's Lovington Sports, Jowl Sports. It's like it's weird. And then there's Hobbs, but when you hit Hobbs, it's like this is where you set it up to do stuff.
Right.
I don't understand why this came up. I do not know. I'm going to sign out and try it again. I may see if do you have the Boxcast on your phone
I hope
too?
I can remember. I don't. I'll see if I can remember how to get them on mine.
There it goes. Okay.
Got it?
All right. Thank God. All right. I'll keep this scorebook because you got the camera and that's a lot to worry with. welcome to Lady Eagle State Playoff Basketball. It's Tasker Arena, and it's on Hobbs Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan alongside Ty Friend, and we are here to bring you this game. This is a must-win game. They call it the playoffs, Ty, but I like to call this the play-in game because you have to win it to move on. It doesn't matter if you've never lost a game during the season. If you lose this one, you don't get to go on to state. So it's do or die time tonight for sure.
Yeah, the only difference is, in the NCAAs, the play-in games usually the bottom feeders, and Hobbs is very far away from that at number one. So, yeah, they're expecting him, especially the game you guys did last year where they broke a record, 25 three-pointers here, and Piedra Vista had no opportunity to get back in that game. It was, 106-22, something of that nature.
It was a big blowout, and, a lot of times you'll see coaches toward the end of a game like that to put the bench in, put some players in, but Hobbs had a chance to make a statement with that game, and they were feeling hot. Their three-point shooters were hot, and Coach Carpenter let them go, and a record game, came out of that. So it's really, really, a game to look back at. Now, just because Piedra Vista is seeded 16th and Hobbs is seeded number 1, there's a reason you play the games anyway. They could just say, well, okay, there's not, there's a very slim chance that this is not going to come out like you expect it to. Let's just don't play it. But you play the games, 1 against 16. I think it's a little unfair because during the same tournament, you have 8 and 9 who are very closely matched teams playing against each other. But I guess there's no way to really do this unless you fix it so maybe the top 4 teams, get a bye. And in some sports, they do that. And it's a little more evenly matched, not 1 and 16 and 2 and 15 going against each other.
I think it has a lot to do with ticket revenue, too. You want to get as many teams in the tournament as possible, just like you see the NCAA tournaments expanding year after year, it seems like, 64, et cetera. So I think that's one thing to do with it, get people on the road to support their teams. To be quite frank, though, this team that they're playing tonight, Piedra Vista, has had a chance to come down here earlier this season with the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. So they've been on that long road trip from Farmington before. Coach Reed, they went 1-2 at that tournament, played a couple teams, including El Paso Eastwood, lost by 20 to them, came down and also beat Alamogordo 48-23 and lost their last game to Americas from El Paso 53-31. So Coach Reed had that long trip before. He knows he's coming to play the top team. Didn't have a chance to play the Eagles here for that Hobbs Holiday Tournament, but Farmington did and knocked the Lady Eagles off. So that kind of got them knocked down a notch there, but look right back up to number 1 again in the Max Preps Bowl.
They did, and I think that was actually kind of a growth-building thing. I mean, it's tough to have to lose the holiday tournament, especially for seniors, who wanted that. But I think it did give them a little bit of a chip on their shoulder and a good reason to kind of punch through and come back and really show everybody what kind of a team they are, that they're a number 1 team, and now they are the number 1 team, right? So here we are with this team, and yeah, Coach Reed knows exactly what he's getting, and a lot of these players have been here before. They're not intimidated by Tasker Arena. They're not intimidated. They've been through this atmosphere. So all they have to do is bring their best, and they're a team that has really nothing to lose because, and that kind of a team can be dangerous sometimes. They could come out and stay and hang with the Lady Eagles for a while, I think. The Lady Eagles, I think, need to come out and show their dominance, get up, and not worry about, take care of business. Be very businesslike and get in the groove, get a good lead against them, and then they can relax a little bit. But they have to know the pressure's on. They have to come in. They have to win this. And they know that they want to move on to the state tournament. They want to be playing for that championship game, but they got to get this one first.
Yeah, I think really 2 keys for Piedra Vista is to stop the outside shooting the Lady Eagles. We talked about the state record last year, 25 trays here, that blowout first-round win. But we got girls that are hitting from big-time three-point range. 79 for Queso Muniz from the three-point range, 79 completed three-point shots, 49 for Madsen Zepeda, and 36 for Zoe Ross. I mean, unheard of numbers. And Lady Eagles, definitely, all those girls are shooting 30% plus. As a player, coaches want to see you in the 30 range just to be on the average there. But when you got a girl shooting 40%, I mean, we're getting close to half mark. Yeah. That is deadly. And I mean, and Coach Carpenter has not always had great three-point shooting teams. Last year's is pretty decent, but this year's it seems like they will continue to jack it up from the outside, and they get some rebounding to go along with it.
They do, and it's depth. What you're talking about here is a deep team. They don't just have one girl who, when she's hot, can shoot some threes. No, we've got 3 girls who are solid three-point shooters who it may take them a few shots to dial in the range and really get there. And sometimes it does. Even Caseland, who owns the record, for three-pointers, sometimes, it takes a couple three at each basket, at each end to really dial in that range and feel secure. But when they light fire, yes, they do. But they don't, as you said, they're not a team that lives and dies by the three, because they've got the rebounding to be able to give them the looks at the basket, to be able to give them second looks at the basket if they need to. So their offensive rebound pretty good, and if those three-pointers miss, often they're right there to try to get a second or a third look at that basket until their three-pointers are just really, really solid throughout the game. So, it's nice because they have the inside game, they have the outside game, they can drive in, they don't have a lot of height, but what they have is speed and quickness, and they are such a team that feeds off of the defense. Turnovers, forcing those, stealing the ball, getting that, and making points off of the turnovers. That's been the bread and butter of this team all season, Ty.
Well, yeah, but Piedra Vista, too, better be watching out, because they have a horrible turnover number, 26 per game. That's what happens on the average now. That means they've had games in the 35-plus. Their last three games against their district opponents, they were getting beat 30-plus all three of the games. Cleveland, Rio Rancho, and Farmington. Very tough district, all those teams in the tournament. But they got to control the basketball. Hobbs will put on the pressure. They'll grind you out. They'll go full court press against you, get the steals and the layups, as you mentioned.
No.
But Coach Reed knows that coming to this hostile environment with the six-man here at Task Arena, turnovers cannot be there. You got to set up the offense, and you got to make sure that you get your butt back on the D.
Yeah, and Hobbs is so good at quick transitions. That's what really has helped fuel their game and their success this season, is the quick transition from defense to offense and from going from one end to the court to the other. What Hobbs does have to worry about a little bit with Piedra Vista, they're really a two-girl team in terms of at the top. You mentioned how deep that district is. Piedra Vista comes in seeded 16th. They had a 3-7 district record and ended up 5th in district, and they're still made the playoffs. So that's kind of unusual, but that shows you how tough that district is. They come in at 10-17 and 3-7 in district. They finished, but their two top girls are Jamie Pierce and Shahana John. And Pierce leads them in points per game, in steals and blocks, and then John owns the rest of the stats basically. In rebounding. I mean, she's averaging 6.6 per game. She leads in assists and has a 40% field goal percentage shooting range. So you talk about hot shooting. Those are the two players that I know the Lady Eagles are looking at, and they know that they have to contain.
Now, we mentioned some of the three-point shooters for Hobbs, but you look at Jamie Pierce, you mentioned their top scorer. She's got 59 three-pointers, shooting at 31% from the outside. So she's the girl that's going to go after you quite a bit. I believe it was against Cleveland last week where she dumped in 25 in a 30-plus losing cause. So even when she gets the points, they have some issues. I should mention, too, in the Max Preps poll, they have the 4th best strength of schedule in the state. They're playing tough teams. They got the tough district, but you do get some quality points from playing the tough teams up in the Albuquerque area, and of course Farmington up in the northwest part of the state. But do a lot of traveling. Coach Reed not afraid to jump on the bus. He said he'll come back to this holiday tournament year after year if they need to. But they have to worry about Farmington too, because that's the other school up there. They've been ranked 1 or 2 this whole season.
Sure.
So that's a rival matchup too.
Oh, absolutely. So they're accustomed to playing tough teams, and that builds your mental toughness. So they're not going to fold. And Hobbs has got to watch out for them, because they are a team that's going to be here, and they're probably going to show up and do better than you would expect a 16th seed to do, which is really the bottom line of everything we're saying here, is that they're a tougher team than they look on paper. Hobbs does have to come in, play their best, take care of business, and just get through this game, take the game, get through it so that they can breathe easy and get into the tournament next week. And then they have a whole other, kettle of fish that they have to worry about when they get up there. But getting up there, getting through this game, that's job number 1 tonight.
And not getting deflated. I mean, they're going to be having a hostile crowd, as I said before. Motivation's got to be, if you miss a shot, rebound, because they've been shooting in the 26, 30% range from the field. I mean, not three-point, I'm talking from the field. All your shots combined, that's a problem. And then you got the crowd against you, and you're, win or lose, it, could be over next week. You won't be playing next week if you lose. So you can't get your head down. You got to get back out there and do the job. And, Hobbs has got some kids that are really going to, Armitage, for example, I call her the Bulldog. She's going to drive on the ground, going to spin, get up and get the ball, go and lay it up at the other end. That's one of those juggernauts for this team. And, of course, Zoe Zoe Ross, the youngster, 8th grader, 13.8 points a game, I believe she's got.
Yep.
Definitely a fiery player, 14.7, excuse me. Zapata, 12.4, Muniz, 11.9. There's 3 players in double-digit average scoring and just blowing people out.
Yeah, and that's average, so it's huge when you talk about that. When you get above 10 points per game average, and especially when they played 27 games this season, they come in at 25-2. So definitely depth, talent, no question. And it's really scary how good. You look at that Zoe Ross now. Her basketball IQ is off the charts, right? And she's a really good player for this team. But she's also she is very grounded and has a really good attitude. And so it's nice to see this team work really well together. They were pulling some moves. We called the game. The last time they were here in action was against Clovis for the district tournament title game, and they beat Clovis 73-41. It would have been much more than that, but during pretty much that whole fourth quarter, the bench came in and got good, significant minutes, against Clovis, and then the Clovis team coach put a lot of his bench in as well toward the end. So they had a much bigger lead going into that, but it's really fun to watch this team played. They are so smooth and so really fun to watch, even when they're not playing against a team that challenges them, and they have had trouble finding that this season. Got teams that really, really challenge them, often enough. They'll play one up in the Metro tournament. That was their best, probably some of their best competition and good games to watch, of the whole season. And you guys were up there doing those games.
Yeah, exciting tournament. Albuquerque High, some other teams up there too. And I think, Hobbs is a team that likes to come out of the chutes quickly in some games. Last year, that playoff game here at Tasker, Hobbs up 25-4 in the first quarter, got 35 more points in the second. It was 60-11 at halftime. Game over at that point. But, a lot of girls, some of those girls are gone. Of course, Mojica, 24 in the game. Brett Clay, at Air Force, 19 points. Hargrove, 15. Kendall Cunningham, 12. Those guys have all graduated. Girls have all graduated. It's just crazy to see a rebuild here now, number 1.
Exactly, and a lot of people did not expect that. This team came in earlier in the year. I interviewed Coach Carpenter, and he talked about that this team had a fire in their belly early on because they felt like they were not getting any respect and recognition. Everybody expected that all that talent graduated and left them, maybe a solid team at best. So they really felt like they had a lot to prove coming into this season, and boy, did they. Have they ever, gotten there and then some. And number 1 in the state, top seed, but that puts puts a big target on your back, and you really have a lot of responsibility when you're number 1. You have a lot to live up to, and you have to it's even more pressure.
And of course, I was talking to Coach Carpenter earlier today too. He says he gets comments from the backside about should have beat Sandia in the championship game and all that. Sandia is a powerhouse year after year. Just watched one of their girls play for Odessa College last night. She was their top scorer last year. That's a big time program, just like the Hobbs Lady Eagles. So nothing to sneeze at to be in the championship game against a team like that. So, Hobbs took second last year, but they've had several opportunities to get championships. 10 years now, Coach Carpenter's been with the program. 8 of those have been number 1 seeds at the tournament. 2 have been second seeds. Right. So he's got a good creds out there, a good resume. They just completely took apart this Piedra Vista team last year with 4 players in the books only for Piedra Vista, and that the only girl that actually played and got a point or 2 points was the John girl. Right. And the Jaime girl, Jaime Pierce, that we have the leading scorer in this game or for this season, wasn't even in the books. So that tells you something right there. I don't think you can take teams for granted, though.
No,
you get picked off and you stay home. You don't get on the bus and go to Albuquerque.
That's right. So Hobbs just needs to know and be confident in what they can do, but just come in and take care of business. Be the team they are, play as well as they can, and not worry about it too much. But they also can't take Piedra Vista for granted and fail to show up and do their jobs. So that's what we're looking at as the teams are through with the warm-ups and are leaving the floor right now. And we'll stop and take a few minutes of time because I know that they'll come back out. We'll be having introduction of players after we have the national anthem. We have Taskovich here, of course, tonight. And, Ty, we haven't mentioned, this is going to be the last game that the seniors on this team play for this year. This is their final game on this hardwood at Tasker Arena. So I know that there are some emotions going on out there with the girls, and they want to make this a win to remember and a game to remember for themselves. Let's take a break, and we'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball state playoff time on Hobbs Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Yes! Strike! Good times, baby! Definitely good, healthy fun with family and friends is what you get at Bel Air Bowl. Find them on Facebook or Google Bel Air Bowl. They are located behind the Bel Air Shopping Center, where we roll at Bel Air Bowl.
For over 25 years, Eunice Pump and Supply has been more than just a business. They've been a part of the heartbeat of Eunice. From the oil fields to the classrooms, Eunice Pump and Supply is all in backing the athletes, cheering on scholars, and investing in the future of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply takes pride in their hardworking team, their dedication to excellence, and most of all, the youth. Visit Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, and now proudly serving Lovington at 321 North Main. Your hometown partner and a proud supporter of Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, local, loyal, and proud to serve. For all your grocery specials, shop Thriftway and La Tienda in Hobbs. The best deals in fresh produce, fresh meat, and vegetables, frozen and dairy, health and beauty, and so much more. With the friendliest and most knowledgeable staff, Thriftway and La Tienda. For all your grocery specials, come on down to La Tienda, 400 East Marland, and Thriftway, 1317 North Turner and Hobbs. Best of luck, Eagles, from all of your friends at Thriftway and La Tienda grocery stores.
Forest Tire is celebrating 80 years in business. There's always another task to tackle, but making your to-do list disappear generates a ton of wear and tear on your tires. Do more for more miles with the Michelin Defender LTX MS tire. Whether it's hauling your boat up to the lake or driving through the job site, Michelin designed a tire that's tough enough for anything. Stop in today for the Michelin Defender LTX MS tire and get back to task mastering. Forest Tire, keeping you rolling since 1944.
Just call us if it's a ride you like. We'll take you there and bring you back.
Hobbs Express provides bus service throughout Hobbs. The bus system operates Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays, 7 to 4. Hobbs Express has an immediate opening for a CDL bus driver, offering great pay and benefits. Apply online at hobbsnm.org or call 397-9230 for more information. When you need transportation anywhere around Hobbs, think of Hobbs Express. Hobbs Express, 397-9290.
Lasco Construction is a proud partner in education in Lee County. Lasco Construction is your hometown construction company. Lasco Construction encourages you and business owners to support Tatum, Jow, Lovington, Eunice, and Hobbs businesses. Buy as much as you can locally, which is why Lasco Construction always supports the youth of Lee County. Lasco Construction supports you. Call 393-9161 for all your construction needs. Support your community.
Success through learning. My future's looking brighter. My life's an open door. New Mexico Junior College gave me the chance I was looking for. Affordable education designed to fit my needs. Now every day is filled with opportunity. NMJC, success through learning. NMJC.
At nmjc.edu.
Here's some good news. Master Plumbers is thanking their customers. Right now, you can have your drain cleared for $39. $39, and you pick the drain. You better hurry. This drain clearing promotion won't last long. Plus, free camera inspection. Drain clogged? No problem. Call the Master. 397-9385. Reminder, Master Plumbers will meet or beat any competitor's plumbing price.
Master Plumbers, call the Master.
Here's attention mechanics. NMR Pipeline is hiring now. If you know your way around heavy equipment and you have your own tools, NMR Pipeline wants to talk to you. NMR is offering top pay based on experience and solid benefits, medical, dental, and vision. NMR Pipeline isn't looking for trainees. They're hiring real mechanics ready to turn wrenches and get the job done right. Apply now at 300 South Main in Eunice. NMR Pipeline, built on skills driven by hard work. NMR Pipeline is an equal opportunity employer.
Did you know LECO offers fiber internet to your home and business? LECO is the only local fiber internet company. This means a personal touch for local customers. Keep your internet with a local company. You won't be disappointed. LECO, keeping you connected and in control since 1954. LECO, the only local fiber internet company. Call 370-5010. Keep your internet with a local company. You won't be disappointed. Call 370-5010. LECO, keeping you connected and in control since 1954.
And welcome back to Tasker Arena for Hobbs Lady Eagles State Playoff Basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan with Ty Friend, and just about ready for this to be tipped off. First, we have the introduction of players for Piedra Vista Lady Panthers. Number 5 is Courtney Begay. Number 10 is Jaime Pierce. Number 11 is Ashlyn Barney. 14 is Shanti Royce. 15 is Chloe Hickman. 21 is Eden Reed. 22 is Olivia Chavez. 23 is Eliana Grihava. 24 is Annika Stanley. 32 is Peyton Begay. 33 is Mia Yazi. And 42 is Cheyenne John. Your starters for Piedra Vista will be Pierce, Barney, Stanley, Begay, and John. That is Peyton Begay. For Hobbs, your roster is number 4, Madison Cepeda. Number 10, Abrielle Armitage. Number 12, Aliana Armitage. Number 14, Jordan Mendoza. Number 15, Alyssa Mojica. Number 20, Mariah Mojica. 22 is Zaylee Hardison. 23 is Corelli Rivera. 24 is Zoe Ross. 30 is Areli Navarro. 33 is Caitlin Manise. 34 is Audrey Mackey. 42 is Donica Espinosa. And 52 is Katie Godwin. Your starters for Hobbs will be Cepeda, Armitage, that's Aliana, Hardison, Ross, and Muniz. Piedra Vista's head coach is Joe Reed. Hobbs, of course, coached by Joey Carpenter. And we come into this one with a lot of expectations. Number 1 versus number 16. A pretty good crowd here. We mentioned earlier that for the seniors on this team, and the seniors are Cepeda, Aliana Armitage, Navarro, and Godwin. This is their last game on this court, and I know that's going to be bring even more significance to this. So they're looking for the win to move on to the state tournament next week, which will begin on Tuesday. It will be all girls games on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday the boys will start playing as well. But on Tuesday it's all girls. So Hobbs would see their first action in Albuquerque on Tuesday if they win this tonight, and they certainly want to and expect to against Piedra Vista. Ty.
Yeah, I think the two keys we're looking at tonight, first of all, is the shooting from the field. Hobbs coming in at 40%, and of course Piedra Vista at 29%. That's 11% differential. Hobbs definitely a better shooting team. Piedra Vista is going to have to deal with that. And the turnovers, Hobbs only 12 a game, 26 for Piedra Vista. More than double the amount of turnovers. If Piedra Vista can try to keep up in those two categories, very hard to do. That might be a chance to stay in this ball game.
Yeah, and it's very hard. If you're not, and if you're down in rebounding and you're turning over the ball that much, and your shooting is that cold from the floor, from anywhere, then it's pretty impossible to win games. So it's time to get this one underway. And it'll be Hardison in the circle for Hobbs, going up against number 42, John, for Piedra Vista.
5'10 versus 5'8, so Hardison get a 2-inch differential here.
And the ball coming up, and it is going to be controlled by Hobbs. It goes to Aliana Armitage. She bobbles it a bit, then gets it back, kicks it out to Manise, thinks about the 3, drives in, then gets it to Ross. Ross pulls up, takes a shot, won't fall, fight for the rebound. It's going to be controlled by Armitage, her first, and gets it to Manise. Manise over to Cepeda. Cepeda calling the O. Going to move it all the way, showing a little frustration here. Hobbs has had one look at the basket, didn't fall. Moves it to Manise, not free to take that 3 from the left wing. Gets it whacked, working it around, working it to Armitage. Armitage working it over Cepeda. Cepeda thinking about the 3. Now she drives into the lane, drives all the way across, and they're going to say a turnover. They're going to say she double dribbled.
Yeah, they're kind of doing some weave action through the lane, trying to lull your defense to sleep in the paint. They're kind of matching up just a little bit there, and Hobbs definitely wants to take advantage. Unfortunate turnover on the first offensive possession.
Yeah, some maybe just first of the game jitters here. Hobbs needs to settle things out. Piedra Vista inbounding, get it into their end of the court. Intense pressure defensively by Hobbs. No surprise there. Armitage almost steals it away. Instead, double teamed, and then you're working on the steal. It goes out of bounds. We're going to see. They're going to call a jump ball right there in front of the students. It's a little hard to see. John was fighting against, I think, Manice. No, that was Ross for it. And they do call the jump, but it's going to be a
jump ball. Go back to
Piedra Vista, right? Yeah.
And boy, Armitage, like we said in the pregame show, diving on the hardwood on that one.
Oh, yeah. She spends a lot of time on the court, but she bounces pretty well, so we'll forgive her. It's okay. A bad pass goes into Manice's hand, so a turnover against Piedra Vista as well. She leaves it off for Ross. Ross working it on the right wing, now drives in, takes a little floater, a shot. Oh, short arms it, and getting the rebound is number 11, Barney, her first. So Piedra Vista getting some rebounds. It double teamed immediately, finds John. John kicks it back out, and it's taken away by Ross. A steal, and gets it down to Cepeda. Fast break down all the way. Takes it up and in off of that steal from Ross. 2 points for Cepeda, and Hobbs is on the board. And in their end, defensive pressure, of course, that full court press Hobbs is known for. Now finally, Barney taking it across the timeline, getting worked on by Ross. Dumps it off to John. John also double teamed, kicks it out mid-court. Hobbs with a great defense here, keeping them out of the paint. They get it into John. John drives in, stops, and takes a shot at the free throw line. It won't fall. Armitage with her second rebound picks it up, brings it down. Cepeda's got it, drives across the lane, and a bad pass. Second turnover for Hobbs right in the hands of Piedra Vista, Ty.
Yeah, they got to take care of the basketball. Don't give unforced errors. Right back to the visiting team that's on a long road trip from Farmington.
Still in the backcourt. In the nick of time, they get it up to John. John moves it up to Begay. Begay kicks it out. Now gets it back to John. She drives in, takes it all the way up and in. So we are tied. First 2 points for Piedra Vista.
You don't want to see a post player driving to the rack that easily.
Nope. She kind of cut through it like butter. Hobbs letting her have it. Armitage working the ball, leaves it off for Ross. She pulls in. A pass into Hardison, who was posting up. It goes out of her hands and out of bounds. That's the third turnover for Hobbs. Uncharacteristic, in a game this early.
Yeah, ice in the veins at this point. You want to take some penetration, take it to the rack. Don't worry about the passes right now. Just get that energy going to the hoop.
I think you're right. Inbound it to John. Now moving across the timeline. All by herself until finally 23, Rivera in the game for the first time, comes up, joins Hardison. They put some pressure on, and the ball goes out of bounds, but it will stay Piedra Vista ball in that far right corner.
Yeah, Armitage just put her head down and bulldozed right to the sideline to try to get that ball ground out of there.
All right, so a pass back near midcourt. Ross working hard on on Stanley. Or Begay, rather. That's Peyton Begay. Passes it off, leaves it off. Almost stolen away again. Worked over into the left corner. A pass intended for John is taken away. Nice work by Zaylee Hardison. She passes to Ross. Ross puts it up. No good. A fight for the rebound, and it comes down Piedra Vista's ball. That's Barney with her second rebound. And finally, across the timeline, some good ball movement, actually, by Piedra Vista as they move it. John hands it off. There's a shot up, no good, and it is Hobbs with the rebound. That is Ross with her first. Leaves it off for Armitage. Armitage stops, pops a shot. It doesn't fall, and nobody there for the offensive rebound. Instead, it goes to John, her second. So Piedra Vista getting more looks at the basket early on than we would have thought. There's a fight for it, and Ross just takes it away. Her second steal, gives it to Rivera. Rivera takes it up and in, and Rivera with 2 points makes it Hobbs 4, Piedra Vista 2. A quick break, fast transition by the Lady Panthers. A shot up, no good, but John with her third rebound. Her putback, no good. She gets her own rebound, and then that one falls. She's got 4 points in the game, all 4 of Piedra Vista's points so far, and we're tied at 4, Ty.
Hobbs definitely got to block out on those defensive glass right now to make sure they don't give second chance opportunities for Piedra Vista.
Hobbs working it around the arc on the right side. Manice driving in, puts up a floater. It's short. Hardison gets a handle on it, but it is going to be Stanley with a rebound, her first. Then they get it across the timeline to John. John moves it. And nice work as a beautiful, beautiful steal by Manice. She saw it in midair, reached up and got it. and now brings it down. A shot up from the right corner, no good, and just like that, no second look for Hobbs. But then number 10, Pierce, on the floor, bobbles the ball, but I think it was last off of Ross, so it will stay Piedra Vista basketball.
Piedra Vista 6-4 rebound count right now, 2 more than Lady Eagles, and a lot of one-and-dones on the offensive end. Hobbs definitely's got to get some people crashing the glass.
Definitely got to work on the offensive rebounding, get those second looks if their first ones aren't going to drop. Oh, there's a pass almost taken away. Hobbs with good pressure, but Piedra Vista is actually handling this pressure against them pretty well. That is Begay getting bedeviled by Rivera. Still got it. Rivera steals it. No whistle, no call, clean steal. Rivera's got it. She gives it to Armitage. And no, that was Navarro. That was Aureli Navarro puts it up and in off of the assist by Rivera. Nice work.
Timeout on the court, too. I think Piedra Vista is starting to see the Lady Eagles coming on the comeback now, only down by 2.
6-4, your score. It's just a 30-second timeout, so we're going to keep it here and thank all of our sponsors. We had a lot of new sponsors come on board for the playoffs and the state tournament, and we say a big thank you to those who decided to jump in, but thank you to the sponsors who've been in all year, all season long, putting their money where their mouth is and supporting athletics, the Hobbs boys and girls. And those are the kind of businesses whose logos you see on the screen, who you want to give them your business to say thank you for supporting the athletes, the students, and our community. All right, out of the timeout, still just a 2-point lead for Hobbs. Now some early game jitters and some uncharacteristic turnovers, but let's see if we see more of the Hobbs girls that we think we know and love, of course. Godwin in on the court. As you know, Coach Carpenter decided, okay, the starting 5, if it just wasn't working well, the chemistry not right there for some reason, he just went ahead and mixed up some of his bench players, and they're in. Pass down to John. John drives towards the hoop. The ball is blocked by Godwin. And we'll see, was it a clean block? Yeah, no whistle at all, but it goes out of bounds, last touch by Hobbs. Stays Piedra Vista ball, but it kept John from just waltzing to the basket and putting it up and in. Still Piedra Vista with the ball, working it. Hobbs, good defense. And, yep, they're going to say turnover. Yep, they're going to say a travel. So I've got that down as just the 4th turnover for Piedra Vista in this one. Hobbs has got 3.
It's a combined, actually, 9 total between the two teams. Not the best way to start a playoff game, but they're going to try to clean things up a little bit.
And Hobbs with the ball, moving it around. Oh, and coming in, that pass from Navarro was intended for Rivera, actually Manice. It led her just a little bit too much, but it was intended for Manice. Manice had her hand on the ball, and then she got fouled. So first trip to the free throw line in this game, and we've played almost a full quarter. 2:20 left in this first quarter, and a very low-scoring affair. I don't think anybody would have guessed that this game would be 6-4 with 2:20 left in the first. Manice at the free throw line sinks the first one. She's on the board and puts Hobbs up 7-4, has a chance to make it 8-4 now.
Manice came in 66% on the line. The Lady Eagles as a team at 65.
Sinks the second one, and yes, now Hobbs doubling up Piedra Vista 8-4. And that was number 15, Chloe Hickman, who had gotten called for the foul for Piedra Vista. Oh, a steal on the inbound, and then the ball tied up. Yep, they're going to say a jump ball. It should go the way of, nope, it's going to go back to Piedra Vista this time. But good hustle there. That was Navarro who got her hand on the ball, trying to steal it away.
That is going to be a turnover. Hobbs is going to get it back. 7 turnovers now for Piedra Vista, 3 for the Lady Eagles.
Yeah. And the ball comes in. Aliana Armitage has got it. As she tried to pass it, it was Godwin who reached up and got it, and I think it was Aliana who got, nope, yep, it was Aliana who got fouled, and they're going to call that on number 11, Ashlyn Barney. That's her first, and it will be Armitage going to the line for 2. Her chance, she's got a couple of rebounds in the game already, sinks the first one, so puts Hobbs up 9-4 now.
3 for 3 on the line, the Lady Eagles. Armitage coming in 62% this season on the line. We're starting to see better penetration now, and we're getting some foul calls, which gets us some freebies on the free throw line. Perfect so far as a team.
Godwin came out, and I actually didn't see who went in. Maybe Mendoza. Second one up and good, too. So Armitage with 2 points to go along with a couple of boards, and 10-4, a 6-point lead for Hobbs. Coming down with it, Begay. And double teamed as Rivera was on one side, and who was on the other? Was that Mariah Mojica? I think so, yeah, Mojica and Rivera.
That's going to be the difference in this ball game, that tenacious double team stuff, getting on the floor, tossing with the basketball, getting the steals, the turnovers, and that's why this team, Piedra Vista, has 26 a game up to this point.
Hobbs they're not shy about being physical and doing the hard work on defense. Piedra Vista still penetrating the lane, driving in, putting a shot up. It's no good, but a whistle sounds, and they're going to get Hobbs. Don't know who they're going to call that on. Let's see. But it will send Piedra Vista to the line. That's going to be on Aurelia Navarro, her first. She's got a couple of points in the game, too.
But it looked like two of the Piedra Vista girls collided on that one. John and it was believe it, Reed that just completely went head-to-head.
And that's Jaime Pierce at the line. She sank the first one. She's got a chance to kind of cut into this Hobbs lead a little more right here, and that one's no good, and it's Armitage with the rebound, her third. Brings it down, drives in, looks like she's going to the hoop. She does, but does not finish, and it's John with another rebound, and I've got her down for 4. And I may have missed writing one down. Coming across the line, Pierce working the ball, getting worked on by, I believe, Rivera. Whistle sounds, ball went out of bounds, no foul.
7-5 rebound count in favor of Piedra Vista right now, but by 2.
And they find John, but then I think they're going to call a foul maybe on, is that Jordan Mendoza over there?
Fouls on number 14, Jordan Mendoza, her first.
And that's her first. Second team foul. It's on the floor, so it will be Pierce to inbound right in front of Taskovich.
Even up foul count, 2-2 now here in the first.
All right, gets it over to 24 Stanley. Now gets it right back, getting worked on, knocked away out of bounds by Rivera. I think it was clean, no foul, but it does go out of bounds. Pierce will try again, trying to find somebody, and she does, but Armitage knocks it away right away, and they're going to say now it's Hobbs ball. Yes.
8 turnovers for Piedra Vista, and we're putting a hand on the basketball, getting in the passing lane as well, and on every possession for Piedra Vista, which is causing some good dividends.
Yeah, it's just bedeviling them, just constantly just at them in their face, all of that. Armitage kicks it out. There's a three-point attempt from the left corner, but no good. And it's Piedra Vista with the rebound. Man, they have been killing us on the boards, Ty.
Yeah, Hickman, just a freshman, too. She got up with a big, strong rebound. She's 5'9", and kind of a thin frame there, but a little physical on that rebound.
Yeah, so Begay's got it back. Getting worked on by Rivera. Nope, that's Pierce now with it. Out near midcourt. Hobbs with tenacious defense. They're famous for it, and it creates a lot of offensive opportunities for them. But they've got to get that working a little more. They've got they're not taking advantage of and scoring off of the turnovers. I mean, Piedra Vista is sitting there with 8 turnovers. Hobbs has not scored off of those.
Does not look like a 106-point game this season.
No, it doesn't. And now Pierce just cannot find anybody. And, yep, it's going to be a turnover for Hobbs, as that was incredible defense by Hobbs. Just absolutely nowhere to throw the ball, nowhere to pass it. That is trademark this team this season.
Yeah, 5-second violation call there. Piedra Vista's 9th turnover, already getting close to double digits, still in the first quarter with 30 seconds remaining, up by 5, the Lady Eagles.
Corelli Rivera passing it off. Hobbs working the ball over to the left corner, now working it back. That's Ross with it, back in the game. Manise, pretty much your starters back in for the most part. They find Manise in the lane, but she was double teamed, and she tried to bounce pass over to Ross, and instead it goes out of bounds. So I've got that as the 5th turnover for Hobbs. Do you have 4 or 5?
I got 4, but
okay.
Still, both these teams want to clean their act up a little bit. They got some games coming up the next few days that are going to be a little bit tougher than this one, hopefully.
Yeah, it's a little sloppy on both sides here. And I think, they're going to say that it's still Hobbs' ball. It goes out of bounds, but it was off. It was last touched by Piedra Vista. So it's going to be Rivera coming over. Just 15 and a half seconds left on the clock in this first quarter, and your score 10-5. Very low-scoring affair, a very surprising start to this game. Rivera getting it over to Navarro. Back to Rivera, driving in, kicks it out to Armitage. Armitage drives in, trying to find some room in the lane. A little floater up, no good. And it's John pulling down the rebound. Now getting it over to Pierce. 3 seconds left on the clock. Hobbs pops it up, takes it away. A half-court shot, no good. But at least they denied Piedra Vista a chance at a last-second shot to end that first quarter. But it is Hobbs up 10-5. We'll be back with the start of the second one in less than a minute here. It is your Hobbs Lady Eagle State Playoff Basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
Did you know LECO offers fiber internet?
SunGuard Precision is all about your truck and your home and making both look and feel amazing. SunGuard uses Lumar Window Tint, the top name in the game. For your truck, that means a cooler cap, UV protection, and a sleek custom look that turns heads. For your home, it's all about comfort blocking heat, reducing glare, and adding privacy without losing your view. SunGuard Precision brings style, protection, and performance on the road and at home. Call or look up SunGuard Precision in names and numbers. SunGuard Precision, your tinting pros.
And welcome back to Tasker Arena. It's Hobbs Lady Eagles State Playoff Basketball. I'm Don Morgan with Ty Friend. And 10-5, Ty, that's a pretty surprising low score for these two teams. Hobbs number 1, Piedra Vista number 16 coming into this one tonight. We expected fireworks by this time.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, too, because the turnover ratio is about the same as the score, 10-4. And Piedra Vista still hanging with the Lady Eagles, but have a lot more turnovers. And last year, Hobbs had more three-pointers than the complete total points for Piedra Vista. A little bit closer in this one.
It is so far, but there's a lot of basketball left to play. Into the first, 10-5, start of the second, and the starters are back on the floor for Hobbs. Manise with the ball, working it to the left, leaving it off to Armitage. Armitage now to Cepeda. Cepeda set out a lot of that first quarter, but she's back on the floor, looking fine. Hobbs trying to work the bugs out. Kaysla Manise driving toward the hoop from the left side through the blocks, and it's no good, but she gets fouled, and it'll be on court.
Peyton Begay, her first.
Begay, okay. All right.
Hobbs will go to the line here, 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. Armitage had a couple, and Muniz a couple in the first quarter.
Yeah, Peyton Begay, and I thought he said number 2, not 32, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, I don't have a number 2 on here. Number 5 is Courtney Begay, so I was a little flummoxed by the announcer and the roster for a moment. All right, so Manise buries that one, makes it 11-5, and she's got 3 points all from the line so far tonight. Piedra Vista with the ball in the backcourt still. That's John getting worked on by Godwin. Finally across center court. And a bad pass. Cepeda picks it up. A nice steal. And she takes it across the line, drives in, and then kicks it out, kicks it back to Godwin, who was behind her in the lane. And Godwin can't hang on to it. It squirts out, but it was last touch, I think, by Begay. So
Hobbs basketball, it should be. They're getting some subs in here. Oh, now they're giving it back. Timeout.
Okay, so it looks like Coach Carpenter wants to take a timeout now. Let's see if it's going to be a 30 or a full, and it is just a 30-second. That's interesting. So he must have seen some things that he wants to do a little differently. It looked like subs, I looked up and thought maybe subs were going to come in, but nope, he wanted to pull the girls back in. And when that happens right after a huddle, right after they've had a gathering, I always think it's very interesting, and a coach needs that, back. And may have seen something right away that he wants to correct or wants the girls to know about that he saw maybe with Piedra Vista, Ty.
Yeah, I think Hobbs' defense is really causing them fits. I think he wants that pressure to continue. 11-4 on the turnovers in favor of the Lady Eagles. But the rebounds needs to be some improvement. 9-5 Piedra Vista. So crash the boards, use your butt to block somebody out, and try to get more than one shot at the bucket if you miss that jumper.
All right, so back to action, and Hobbs will inbound, and right away a whistle sounds.
It's like a screen foul.
Wow, that's interesting. It's going to be on Zaylee Hardison. That's her first, and that's going to give the ball right back over to Piedra Vista.
Not only the foul, but you get a turnover for that, too, so it gives it right back to the team that's trying to get back in this thing.
It does, and that's not a good place. Hobbs has got some things to fix here. John's got it, almost taken away, and it is. Zoe Ross tipped it and then took it. Her third steal of the game. She's got 2 points as well. Armitage with it, leaves it off for Cepeda, then gets it back, drives in, kicks it over to Zaylee Hardison, who takes a shot, won't fall. Fight, almost literally a fight for the rebound, with Katie Godwin getting a hand on it, but so did Peyton Begay. Jump ball, arrow is going to go the way of Piedra Vista. So Pierce will inbound.
I'm going to be very nice to give her a rebound on that one. She had a good rip motion on the ball, just got tied up quick.
Yeah. Oh, and the ball taken away by Zoe Ross, and she puts a shot up. It clanks off the front, but she gets fouled, so she'll go to the line. And she will shoot for 2. And it's going to be, they're calling her Jamie. It could be Jaime as well. I don't know. I called her Jamie, so either way. Pierce is her last name, so we can call her Pierce safely. She picks up her first foul. Oh, Zoe Ross misses the first one.
That's her first point of the ball game. The Lady Eagles have only missed 1 free throw so far in this contest. They are 6 of 7 from the charity stripe.
All right, second one up and good as well. That is 13-5 your score now. And Ross with 3 steals, a rebound, a couple of points at the line. We just need more offensive production from the Lady Eagles. And that can only come from possessing the ball. And their shooting has been pretty cold tonight. And there's a steal, another one as Ross gives it to Godwin, then right back. Ross going to bring it across, give it over to Cepeda on the right wing. She's just going to hang on the ball. Now passes into Hardison. Hardison, no room. She got worked on by John. Leaves it off for Armitage. She kicks it out to Cepeda. Thinks about the 3, but she's got Pierce in front of her. So now to Armitage. And Hobbs is having some trouble penetrating the lane. And now a 3-point jump shot up by Ross, no good. But Armitage with the rebound, her 4th, gets it over. Ross sends it over to Godwin. And Godwin puts it up and in. 2 points for her and makes it 15-5. And now it looks like Piedra Vista is going to have, they're going to call for a 60-second timeout as they are now quickly, just like that, Hobbs pulled away from them 10 points, and we'll be back for more second quarter action here from Tasker Arena.
When you want the job done right, trust the professionals at DNC Electric for all your electrician's needs. DNC Electric does oil well installations, battery installations, power lines, automation, electric motor repairs, transformer repair, and so much more. When you want a reliable, dependable electrician for all your commercial and industrial services, call DNC Electric 492-0044, 575-492-0044. DNC Electric, 1444 West Broadway.
And welcome back to Tasker Arena as we have Hobbs with starting to show some spark and pulling away a bit. But just like that, Piedra Vista, I think that was a really smart timeout by Coach Reed. He wanted to shut that momentum down immediately, try to cool things down a little bit. He took a 60 and not a 30 on purpose, and now he wants his team to get back in there. They're giving Hobbs some fits here. Hobbs is not moving the ball as well or shooting as well, Ty.
Yeah, Hobbs, though, on a 5-0 run here in this second quarter, so starting out very well and more balanced scoring. 5 scorers versus just 2 for Piedra Vista.
Yeah, they're starting to look more like the Lady Eagles, but Piedra Vista with the ball out of the timeout across the timeline. That's Pierce getting worked on by Armitage. Very close worked on by Armitage. And are they going to call Armitage on the foul? I think they are. Yeah, they're going to get her.
Only the second team foul. 2 fouls in both quarters so far for the Lady Eagles. Not been a problem, not foul trouble either direction. So problem with Piedra Vista's offense right now, they're getting pushed back way outside the perimeter. Exactly what Hobbs wants to do, trap them near half court.
And inbounding right in front of Taskovich, trying to get it to John. It goes out of bounds at last touch by Piedra Vista, so it should be Hobbs basketball.
15 turnovers for Piedra Vista here in this first half.
Yep, and that's 15-5 for Hobbs.
And they averaged 26, so they're well on their way to breaking those numbers on the road tonight. And that will be a loss if it continues that way.
Hobbs with Rivera back into the game now. Leaves it off for Armitage. Passes over to Cepeda on the right wing. Bounce pass back to Rivera. Oh, and Cepeda moved over to the left wing. It takes a shot at a 3, no good. And Rivera with the rebound. Now to Armitage. Armitage drives into the lane and passes and gives it to Hardison. And she puts it up and in with an assist by Aliana.
That makes it now 6 scores for the Lady Eagles.
And unanswered points by Piedra Vista. And a steal. Rivera's got it. Oh, bounce pass in the lane. And not ready for it really was Hardison. She tried to corral it, good hustle, but she just wasn't. It was a backwards pass right into the lane. Hardison was in that low post position.
Kind of looked like she got steamrolled. Looked like Shayana John was kind of rolling like a piece of log there towards her ankles and kind of flopped her down to the baseline. But still, the Lady Eagles only with 6 turnovers so far.
Yeah, and they are going to take Hardison out just to make sure she's okay. Give her a little rest. fight for the ball, and it's 2 looks at the basket, and John with 2 more points.
6 points and 5 rebounds for their post.
Now Zepeda comes down, though, and drives toward the hoop, and a whistle sounds. The ball is going to stay Hobbs' ball, but the foul will be on 11, Ashlyn Barney. That's her 2nd foul. And Hobbs, it's on the floor. Zepeda inbounds to the right of the basket. Leaves it off for Armitage. Back to Zepeda. Now over to Manise from way downtown. Tries the 3. It does not fall. And, I think they're going to get Ross for kind of over the back and on the wrist. Yep, they are. As John was there fighting for the rebound. So first foul on Ross. Again, nobody in foul trouble for Hobbs yet. Not a problem, but
got to get in front of your man when it comes to rebound and get the butt into her chest before you start to go up with it, or you get the over the back.
And stolen away as a beautiful work. And that was Zoe Ross with her 4th steal of the game. Came off of a tip, and I didn't see who else, one of her teammates. It might have been Rivera or Manise who kind of tipped that, but she got it and drove to the hoop, drew the foul. 2 points for her and a chance to make it 3. Oh, it's a little short, and that's John with the rebound. But stolen right back as Rivera with her 2nd steal of the game. Gets it to Zepeda. Zepeda gets it to Manise. Manise tries a 3, and it skates across the rim and out of bounds. Ross was there hustling, trying to save it, but couldn't. So it'll be another turnover for Hobbs. I've got 7 for Hobbs. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that might have been more of a missed shot opportunity there, but we were talking so glowingly about the 3-point shooting game, and this first half has not been very great. I don't think we had 1 and 3 yet.
No, we haven't. We haven't had a single. Hobbs hasn't had a single 3 that has dropped, and they've had a lot of looks at it. And a steal as Ross, with her 5th steal of the game, gets it and passes it off. Zepeda sends it right back to her on the give and go. So I would give Zepeda an assist on that. Ross with 2 points. And Hobbs now 21-7, pulling way away from Piedra Panthers ball. Pierce inbounds to Pregame. Pregame having trouble. Almost, it was knocked away by Ross, but Piedra Vista saves it across the timeline barely. And it is stolen. Zepeda interrupts a pass, takes it, trying to get a shot up, no good, but it's not stolen away. And she gives it to Armitage. Armitage comes in, and that little pop-up shot worked. She was double-teamed, and she still found a way to make that work, Ty.
Yeah, she got 4 points, another steal.
Another steal coming back the other way. A shot up, no good. Fight for the rebound. Armitage gets it. Gives Hobbs a second look. Finally, that is Rivera, Corelli Rivera. She breaks the 3-point ice for Hobbs, and she's got 5 points in the game and makes it Hobbs 26-7. Hobbs is starting to really stretch things out and pour it on. This is more of the game that we thought we would see at the very beginning. And a pass, Armitage gets it.
10-second violation.
Yeah, and they're in the backcourt, and it was great backcourt pressure by Hobbs, trying to just get the ball away and keep it in their end.
Kind of looks like a 2-1-2, I believe, in that half court or full court in the backcourt of Piedra Vista. And that is a total now of 22 turnovers for this squad coming all the way from Farmington.
Imagine. And you mentioned it's not unusual for them. That's pretty typical. Zepeda driving through the lane, puts it up and in, and now she has 4 points in the game, makes it 28-7. And again, the ball almost stolen away. Rivera had it, but Piedra Vista will control. They get it across the timeline to Hickman, and then it is stolen away as Rivera gets a chance to do that and takes it, gives it off, a shot up, no good, and then this rebound is taken by Pregame, but she has nowhere to go as she is getting really, really pressured by Armitage, and they call the foul against Armitage. Some of the Hobbs faithful not liking the call.
Yeah, they were booing that one. Kind of a last-second whistle there, but both teams now have 4 fouls. Haven't had any bonus this half yet, but we're 1 foul away from each side getting a chance to shoot free throws off of it.
Of course, the foul was on the floor, so the inbound is tipped away, stolen by Hobbs. Yet another turnover. They need to make points off of it, though. The ball up, no good. It doesn't fall through. Mendoza was trying to rebound. Instead, it goes out, and Zepeda's got it. Armitage takes a shot. It won't fall, and it is Piedra Vista with the rebound again. I think that was Hickman. Goes across the timeline and then picked off by Hobbs. Yet another turnover and a chance for Hobbs to increase their lead, 28-7. This is a 21-point lead for them right now here with 2 minutes left in the second quarter. A shot up, no good. John skies up for the rebound and passes it up. Whoa, almost a travel. Royce has got it to Begay. Begay getting bedeviled by Zepeda out near midcourt. Gets it to John, turn around, pass to Barney. Barney in the lane, goes up to the hoop, and a whistle sounds. I think they may get Rivera on that. Let's see. Yep. So first foul on Rivera, and it is going to put Barney to the line.
It's been about an hour since they've had a chance to shoot in the paint there for Piedra Vista.
And Barney has 1 point in the game, and of course from the free throw line, and that one no good though. So a miss on her first attempt.
They came in shooting 60% this season from the charity stripe, and Barney at 58% as an individual.
Armitage goes out, and Espinosa goes out, and Ross back in. I didn't see who else came back in. The second one is no good. Ross with the rebound. Passes it. Zepeda's got it. Pulls up. Passes to Navarro. Navarro sending it quickly all the way over to Rivera, who wasn't quite ready for that in the right corner, and it's going to be a turnover against Hobbs.
That's their 7th in this ball game, but the other teams had a lot more fits with the 26 total. That is their average on the season just in the first half.
That's amazing. An amazing stat, and you would think that with that, Hobbs would have more than a 21-point lead on them, but we'll take the 21, no problem.
Hey, Don, another turnover.
Yep. Before I even got through writing that one down, I got to put another one on there. So give it back to Hobbs. Ross inbounds it to Zepeda. Zepeda to Rivera. Rivera from the free throw line puts a shot up, no good. A fight for the rebound, and it's going to be controlled by Begay, and then taken right back, stolen by Rivera. Gets it to Zepeda. Zepeda back to Rivera. Leaves it off for Ross, working it in, driving in, puts up a little floater. Jumper, beautiful. That little mid-range jumper and that floater of hers is so pretty. When it hits, it is gorgeous. Ooh, a takeaway up. Mendoza with a steal. Gets it right back to Hobbs. Zepeda gets it to Ross. Ross was driving the lane, thinking about the shot, couldn't, so she passed it off, and then they get it to Mendoza, who cuts back in across the lane, puts it up and in, and makes it 32-7. Piedra Vista trying to make something happen in their end. Ball goes out of bounds off of a really good defensive pressure by Hobbs, and just sloppiness there. Piedra Vista will control it, though. They'll inbound to the left of their basket. Probably going to try to get it into John, if I had to guess. Nope. Then they get it out to Begay. Begay now into the left corner, and a bounce pass almost stolen away. Now Begay driving in. Ball's loose on the court. Rolls it out. Then they pass it and get it to John. She takes a shot. It won't fall, and Hobbs with the rebound. They give it to Ross, and she drives the lane and puts it up and in. And I didn't see it. The assist, was it Rivera or Navarro? Could have been, I think it was maybe Navarro on that. Coming the other way, John has it for Piedra Vista, and interrupting the pass, Rivera with another steal, and she just takes it up. Oh, did not finish, but Zepeda there to snatch the rebound at the buzzer. Her putback is good. Zepeda with 2 more and makes it 36-7 at halftime. Hobbs is in the lead. We'll be back with your halftime report coming up. More Lady Eagles State Playoff basketball from Tasker Arena on Hobbs Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com.
The Coffee House offers a revitalizing menu of coffee, tea, and specialty drinks, just the way you like it. Enjoy your favorite drink with a whole latte love at the Coffee House. The Coffee House, another proud supporter of all Lee County athletics. Coffee House is locally owned and operated and is dedicated to fostering a sense of community in Lee County and in the surrounding areas. The Coffee House, 1103 North Grimes.
When you want the job done right, trust the professionals at DNC Electric for all your electrician's needs. DNC Electric does oil well installations, battery installations, power lines, automation electric motor repairs, transformer repair, and so much more. When you want a reliable, dependable electrician for all your commercial and industrial services, call DNC Electric 492-0044, 575-492-0044. DNC Electric, 1444 West Broadway. Elite Real Estate is proud of the Eagles. This team brings the fire, the focus, and the unstoppable spirit that makes the whole community stand up and cheer. And just like the Eagles, Elite Real Estate shows up with heart and hustle every single day. Elite makes buying a home easy, and they work nonstop to get you into the home of your dreams. So crank up that Eagle pride and call Elite Real Estate today, 492-0008, 492-0008. Elite Real Estate, helping you find the perfect home. For all your grocery specials, shop Thriftway and La Tienda in Hobbs. The best deals in fresh produce, fresh meat, and vegetables, frozen and dairy, health and beauty, and so much more. With the friendliest and most knowledgeable staff, Thriftway and La Tienda. For all your grocery specials, come on down to La Tienda, 400 East Marland, and Thriftway, 1317 North Turner in Hobbs. Best of luck, Eagles, from all of your friends at Thriftway and La Tienda grocery stores. NMR Pipeline is a highly qualified, dedicated company, leading in performance with management and employees who've provided over 45 years of service in pipeline maintenance and construction within the oil and gas industry. NMR Pipeline, 300 South Main in Eunice, or call 394-0144 for more information. Again, 394-0144. NMR Pipeline is proud to be a supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics.
And welcome back to Tasker Arena. It's Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball. State playoff must-win game to move on to Albuquerque next week. And at the end of the first quarter, Hobbs had a 10-5 lead. At halftime, they pumped it up 36-7. It was a much more fruitful and productive second quarter for the Lady Eagles, but we needed to see that. They had a very slow start to this game, and the 10-5, an unusually low score for them at the end of that first quarter, especially considering number 1 team coming up against number 16 team. But a lot on the line here. It's understandable. But, man, Hobbs has really poured it on with scoring 26 points to just 2 points against Piedra Vista in that second quarter tie.
Yeah, that's all about the defense. I mean, we saw that Hobbs was starting to move that pressure back to the half-court line once Piedra Vista did get into the front court, which wasn't very often in that second quarter. And then they started challenging the dribble, double team, sideline plays, diving on the basketball on the ground, just kind of messing with the heads of Piedra Vista. They only got a couple of opportunities to try to get stuff in the paint. They got a couple of fouls out of it, got some free throw opportunities, but nowhere near what they needed to get the good shots. They were stumbling a lot, losing control of the basketball, just playing very tentative out there was Piedra Vista. But you got to put a lot of credit to Lady Eagles just turning the screws.
Yeah, absolutely. And Piedra Vista had so many turnovers, but it is the Shehanna John show for them, as she's got 6 of the 7 points that Piedra Vista has on the board. I've got her down for the 6 points, but I've also got her down for 3, 5, at least 8 rebounds that I've gotten her down for. Stanley with a rebound, a couple of rebounds for Hickman. And the other point was Jaime Pierce at the line. Was that right? Not Barney?
Yeah, they were 1 for 4. It was 0 for 2 for Barney, 1 for 2 for Pierce.
Right, Pierce. So Pierce has the other point on the board for that. Yeah, I had started to write down a foul on Barney, and it looked like a point, and I thought that's not right. So 1 point for Pierce, and of course 6 points for Piedra Vista on that. The scoring for Hobbs, well, as you might expect. But let's talk about the steals, too. It's amazing. And the fact that there's only one three-pointer on the board. No, was that? Yeah, that's right. And it was Corella Rivera, just the sole three-point shot that fell for Hobbs in that first half. But Hobbs, it wasn't for lack of looks at the basket for sure, as Hobbs has had a lot of course, with that many turnovers, Hobbs has had steals everywhere. Right now, and correct me, I know you will, if I'm wrong, but I've got Zoe Ross down for 8 points for Hobbs, leading scorer, right?
She's got 10.
10
and
now,
the thing about it was all those coming in the second quarter was held scoreless in the first quarter, went 2 for 3 on the line. We started seeing her cutting backdoor on some offensive plays in the paint, also going to the rack with it too. That drove some fouls, getting chance for not just her, but other players getting some foul opportunities to shoot some free throws. So, yeah, Ross is definitely coming on. Kind of a quiet first quarter, though, for her.
Yeah, and I did have 10 points credited for her. I forgot to count her 2 at the line. She had two of her 10 points at the line there. She had 5 steals, though. Pretty amazing. And I've got her down for a couple of boards for Hobbs as well, but fairly quiet for her, for a player like her, but still, you know, hey, we're not going to quibble. Hobbs is up 36-7 on the score. We'll take it. As Madison Cepeda, I've got her down for 6 points, a couple of rebounds, a couple of steals, and an assist as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much good, well-balanced scoring. 9 players in the book so far for Hobbs. Just 2 got in at least 1 point for Piedra Vista.
Yeah.
But like you said, only 2 points scored in the second quarter.
Yeah.
I think the big differential has been the turnovers, 29-7. Complete annihilation there with the defense. But Piedra Vista is getting better rebounding on the defensive glass, especially 15-12 at this point. And that's because that first quarter, Hobbs had a lot of ones and dones, especially those 3-point shots that weren't dropping. And they just pretty much Piedra Vista turn around and reach up for the ball, and they're going the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. Hobbs just did not get many second looks at that basket, and their shooting was just uncharacteristically cold, especially from 3-pointers. Aliana Armitage, I've got her down for 4 points, 5 rebounds, and a couple of assists, as well as a steal. Have Corella Rivera with 5 points, one of them the tray, 5 steals and assist. I've got Kaysla Manise with 3 points, but it's not the 3 points you'd expect. All 3 from the line, from the free throw shooting line, and a steal to go along with that. Katie Godwin with a couple of points and a couple of rebounds. You got a couple of points from Zaylee Hardison as well. Jordan Mendoza on the books with a couple of points and a steal. And I think that's about what I have written down. Hardison with the 2 points, and I think that's what I've got. Areli Navarro with a couple of points and an assist as well. So, you know, a lot of girls getting in the action and getting in the stats for Hobbs. I like to see that, Ty.
And pretty decent free throw shooting, too. 7 of 9 for 77%, compared to Piedra Vista's 1 for 4 for 25%. They just haven't had enough opportunities to set up some offense. When they did in the first quarter, perimeter defense started coming up for Hobbs and just kind of closed them down. But Lady Eagles found out that penetration against that 2-3 zone we saw, especially in the second quarter, start to open some things out, dump it outside and get it back in, and we get the fouls out of it. If you don't score on the shot, that's one thing. Get those free throws, and they've done a pretty good job of that so far.
Yeah, and I've got Hobbs with seven turnovers in that first half. Is that what that was? Okay, so again, Hobbs taking care of the basketball a little bit better. And so you would expect that at this point at halftime, 36-7 is what we've got. So it'll be interesting to see coming out. They're not that far away from running clock if they were to get that far. They would have to be ahead 35 points or more to get it to running clock. And when that happens, the game really starts flying by. What we have seen from Coach Carpenter a lot, though, is you know, they may get it to running clock or near that, and he will start working more bench players in and giving them, you know, good minutes in the game, and that does a lot of times flip things back and get it under 35 points and slows the game down just a little bit, Ty.
I'm really disappointed in Coach Carpenter. There's no 106 points on the board yet. We'll get there eventually, and the 25 trays might not happen in the first half. It didn't, but we'll see what happens. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
But Coach takes a little bit of heat at home because he wants to make sure everybody knows this team is still a #1 squad, and they're going to do well. I'm going to quickly give you some Lee County scores, Don.
You bet.
A big upset so far in Portales. Lovington Lady Cats up by 3 at the half over Portales, the home team, 23-20. That'd be a great pickoff, a 9 versus an 8 on the road. Jow's only 1 point down to McCurdy. They're on the road, too, 22-21 at the half. The big game that we expected to see the score of this, but it's Tatum 31, Eunice 15 girls at halftime.
Yeah, and that game, of course, is the only Lee County two teams. One of the Lee County teams will not make it, out of that game to make it up to the big gym, up at UNM for a state tournament. We are underway in this second half. 5 seconds into it, Piedra Vista will inbound again at Taskovich and get it in. Still in the backcourt, Cepeda giving Begay fits, and it takes away the ball. Begay ended up on the ground, and finally there is a whistle, but they are going to say it is White's ball, which is Hobbs wearing the home whites, and of course Piedra Vista in the road blacks.
Look like both the players were joining the Taskovich band on that series right there near half court.
And I think that they both wanted to try out for drummer, I think, right down there almost on the court. Inbound, they're going to work it around the outside of the arc. That's Armitage, top of the arc. Gets it over to Manise in the right corner.
By the way, that was the 30th turnover because of that jump ball.
And that was Ross, not Manise, over there in the right corner. Sorry about that. Hardison now kicks it out to Armitage, and now she gets it to Manise in the right corner. Gets it to Cepeda. Going to work it over, leave it off for Ross. Ross drives in, looking to put up a little shot. It hits the underside of the backboard, but a whistle sounds. She draws the foul, and I think they may get that on Pierce. Let's see who they call that on.
Number 10,
yep, Pierce.
We got to remember, Pierce came into this game the top scorer for Piedra Vista, 13.8 a contest. He's only got one for 2 in the free throws in the first half.
Yeah, leading points per game, leading in steals, leading in blocks for Piedra Vista as well, and she's had a very quiet first half.
Ross got her first free throw, 8 of 10 on the line now of the Lady Eagles.
And second one falls as well, so 38-7 now, and Ross has 12 points in this game and steals the ball off of the throw-in and puts it up and in. 2 more, so 4 quick unanswered points by Hobbs makes it 40-7, and now a whistle sounds.
Another turnover.
Yep. Oh, boy.
32 total, 3 already here, and we're 50 seconds into this third quarter.
Oh, my. They had there were 29 at half for Piedra Vista, and now they got 3 quick ones with less than a minute gone in this third quarter. Hobbs has got it, working it around the outside of the arc, just ball handling, passing, doing very well. Cepeda drives all the way across over to the left corner now, kicks it out to Manise. Manise back to Cepeda. Cepeda tuning up the tray. It does not fall, and it's John with the rebound. Then passes it up to Pierce. John with 6 points in the game for Piedra Vista. Gets the ball back. She tries a tray, no good. And then it's Manise with the rebound. Wow, we don't say that very often. And it's just because, she's such a shooter. And but she's a complete ball player as well, capable of getting in position for rebounding defensively and offensively. Leaves it off for Ross. Ross takes it to the hoop, puts it up, no good. Hardison fighting for the rebound, but a jump ball is called. I think Pierce got her hand on it too.
And that will be Hobbs basketball, so they retain possession. And it's a good thing to see one of your big girls just getting high up in the air that time. Hardison getting her hands out, stretch above her head, 5'10".
Oh, it comes into Hardison. Hardison over her head temporarily, but she corrals it. Gets it to Ross. Ross leaves it off for Armitage. Armitage trying to drive in, no room. Back to Ross, now back to Armitage. Now she takes the shot. It bumps out, and it is controlled. I think Ross got the rebound, and then the ball kind of tipped around and ends up in Piedra Vista's hands. I think that was Begay with another rebound for her. So Hobbs denied another look at the basket. 40-7 still the score as they work the ball around. Begay's got it. Hardison guarding her. She puts up a shot anyway, goes over on the other side of the rim. Ross takes it. Now Cepeda's got it in the left corner. She tunes up the tray, no good. And a fight for the rebound, and Armitage gets it out of the hands of Begay. Going to take it to the hoop, and she gets fouled by John, I believe. Armitage goes to the line. She'll shoot 2.
33 turnovers. As even though sometimes you see Piedra Vista getting a rebound, you still great aggressive defense like Armitage provided there to get the ball back.
And note, they call that on Pierce, actually. So Pierce with her 3rd foul. Aliana at the line. First is a miss.
So Armitage, 2 of 3. That was her first miss. The Lady Eagles are now 9 of 12, 75% from the charity stripe.
She's got another chance to bury it. Skates across, no good. And Hickman goes up for the rebound. Getting trapped in the backcourt. Good defense. Hobbs temporarily had it, but then it pops back up. Pierce has got it. Zepeda fighting for it. Goes out of bounds, I think, off of Zepeda's hand. It should stay Piedra Vista basketball, I think.
No, they're giving it to Hobbs.
They're giving it to Hobbs. I guess Zepeda did not touch it last.
35 turnovers now,
Wow.
way past their season average at 26 a game. Already 9 over that here in the third.
Crazy. Hobbs has got it. They get it to Manise on the left wing. Oh, the tray in and out. Zaylee Hardison with the rebound, though, saves it. And then Zepeda taking a look at the basket. It's no good. And Hickman with another rebound.
That's 4 for her, and she's a freshman.
Yeah, and I've got her for 4 as well. So 40-7 still your score is Piedra Vista working it. That's John with the ball. Poked out by Kaysla Manise. Leaves it off. Driving in is Pierce across the left blocks, and she puts up a shot. No real chance to make that work, but she's in the act of shooting, and she gets fouled, so she'll go to the line. Is that ball really, it was a shot, but it was more of a prayer than putting up a prayer rather than putting up a shot that had a chance. But she's got a chance to sink it at the line, and the first one is in.
That's only her second point of the ball game. Yeah. 2 for 3 from the charity stripe, and now the team just 2 for 5 for 40%.
Yeah, and the coach pulls all 5 off of the floor to much applause, appreciation, and puts 5 fresh players in. 40-8, a 32-point lead for Hobbs, and second one is up and in.
Timeout on the court.
And timeout. Let's see if it's going to be a 30 or a 60. Yep, just a 30-second timeout. And so we'll keep it right here and just say a big thank you again to our sponsors who allow for us to do the broadcast and never charge you anything for it. And it's free to watch those games on several different platforms. We often will have it on Facebook. It's always on YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. So proud of the sponsors who come in and pay so that you don't have to. And it's always good to go back and watch those games. A lot of people do that when they don't watch them in real time. Go back, even coaches and players and families will often go back and watch those and watch for certain things. So we're happy to be able to do that for you. It is 40-9 right now, your score. Out of the timeout, it'll be Hobbs basketball. And inbounding to the left of the basket. Getting it into the backcourt and moving it across is Rivera to Godwin. Now to Mackey, to Rivera, to Mackey, and Hobbs, and that's over to Mendoza. Rivera drives in, little spin move, going to put it up off the glass, no good. Godwin fighting for the rebound but can't control it, and it'll be Piedra Vista and Pierce who picks it up. Or no, not Pierce, I believe that is Barney who picks it up across the timeline. John with it now, a pass to Hickman, who had posted up, but she tries to put a shot up. Butterfingers. Godwin with some pretty good defense right there under the basket as well, and the ball goes out of bounds.
That Hickman girl, freshman, she is 5'9", so got a little size there, and Hobbs trying to battling work some muscle underneath there that time.
It'll be Piedra Vista to inbound to the right of their basket, and they do. They get it to John, who was posted up there on the left side of the basket. And she gets fouled.
Yeah,
Mendoza bumps into her big time.
Yeah, that was a bumper car. Yeah, she threw the hip on her that time. That pretty much saved a layup over the front of the rim to knock her out of the way there, but got the foul regardless.
John buries it and has her 7th point of this game and
really
makes it
good,
10.
Good rebounding, too. 7 boards to go with the 7 points.
And buries her second one as well. So 40-11 now, and all but one of those points on the board belongs to John, or 2 of those points, rather.
Lady Eagles lose that on a turnover to half court.
And, again, these are some of the younger players. And stolen away, taking it up, but not finishing is Mackey. She gets bumped into, ball's out of bounds. Now they are going to call the foul. Let's see who they get that on. And Mackey, in the act of shooting, will go to the line.
Looks like they got John on that one. That's only her second personal, though.
Right. And Mackey will go to the line. You've got several newer players on the roster for Hobbs, just, since in the last part of the season, during the district part of the season. and district tournament, and now the state tournament. And Audrey Mackey is one of those newer, younger players coming up, and Donica Espinosa is another one.
She makes a point here. She'll be the 10th player in the books for Lady Eagles.
And she does. She sinks it. So Audrey Mackey with a point.
She's been doing a lot of travel ball over the last few years. I have a chance to rep her quite a bit. Very tenacious player out there.
Piedra Vista moving it across the timeline. John passed it up, and there's a player down, slipped and fell on, and that's who that was Stanley, I think, on the floor. I think that's 24, and she doesn't feel good. She's not getting up. She really slipped and just and fell, kind of laid flat out on the floor, and she's still down. May have just gotten the breath knocked out of her. She's coming up. That was a hard shot, regardless of what caused it or who. Sometimes, and I think I don't think there was a foul called. It was just, I think she just slipped.
I think they might have got Mendoza because they've got.
Oh, did they?
I think they had 3 fouls on her now. That's a third team foul.
Yeah.
Both teams now have 3
You're right.
apiece.
I have 2 written down, and there's 3 on the board now. So they did. They clocked Mendoza for that. It's on the floor though. So Pierce will inbound to John or to Begay, and yeah, it's a turnover for sure. As everybody in the arena, was calling that for the ref, calling it before he did, right?
Backcourt violation. That's going to be the 37 turnover. More, what is that?
Wow.
Triple the number of points they have on the scoreboard right now. I hate to belabor the point, though, or the lack of points.
41-11 is your score. 30-point lead for Hobbs. Here, 3:22 left in this third quarter, and up and in. That was nice ball movement as they passed it around. Find Corelli Rivera, and she took it up from the left, up and in. So she's got 7 points in the game that I've written down at least.
And John gets her third personal on that foul. I liked her body control in the air. She got rammed into by the side of the hip that time and still just kind of leaned her body to the hoop, used the glass left, put it off there for 2.
That's a lot of strength. She definitely has some strength and some muscle, as well as some good shooting skills. So, yeah, she will come out with 3 fouls on her.
Rivera's first time on the line tonight, but 72% on the season. That's one of the best free throw shooting on the team.
And she misses it.
I jinxed her.
It never fails, right, when we do that. Absolutely. That's okay. There was a fight for the rebound. What they say, a lane violation maybe on
jump
that?
ball.
Oh,
Audrey
jump ball,
Mackey
okay.
was putting her head down strong, going after that basketball and got tied up.
Good hustle there by Mackey then. Pierce looking for somebody, finally gets it into Barney. Barney trying to pass it up, gets blocked, and Hobbs at Lady Eagles get the ball back. Oh, a shot, little spin move from Rivera in the lane, shot up no good, and it is Barney coming up with the rebound for it, bringing it down, loses the handle off of it. Pretty good defensive pressure by Hobbs there, by a couple of the younger players out there on the court. That was Mackey and Rivera.
Well, they actually called a foul on Rivera. This looked like a collision for both players.
It did to me, too. I just thought it was incidental contact, and there was no way to sort out who fouled whom there, but they did catch. And Hobbs appreciates the fact that younger players went in and were out there and were able to get some significant minutes.
Both teams with 4 fouls apiece, 1 away from the bonus.
Inbound to Hardison. Hardison gets it to Cepeda. Cepeda takes it up and in.
That came off a turnover for Piedra Vista.
And now coming the other way, Piedra Vista with 2 points with that Hickman who put it in. Yep, Hickman with 2 points now to go with her for rebounds. And Hobbs brings it down. Armitage leaves it off. Cepeda now to Ross. Ross in the left corner. Whistle sounds and says no, the shot does not count. The whistle sounded before. And Joey, Coach Carpenter, not too happy about that. Not really unhappy with the ref, just unhappy with the players there.
I think he just wants this game to continue on stoppage of actions on little pushes outside the perimeter or whatever. Let us take it to the rack and knock us down. We'll take the free throws there. But we want to add on to this lead and get in our first win of the playoffs.
So it will be Cepeda going to the line. They are going to get that on Mia.
Double bonus now.
Yeah, double bonus. Madison Cepeda going to the line. It is 45-13 your score. And Cepeda sinks it. No problem there. Nothing but net on her first one.
She's the best free throw shooter on the team this season at 77% and proved it just there.
And Hobbs has been all the players pretty solid at the line. As a team, they've been doing pretty well at the line all season long. Cepeda sinks her second one as well, proving the point that you made.
10 points in the books for Cepeda, double digits.
And in the backcourt still, with the starters back on the court for Hobbs. And, yep, you're definitely got trapped in the backcourt by that great defensive pressure, and Hobbs will get it.
10 turnovers in the second half, total for Piedra Vista of 39.
Wow. So Hobbs to inbound. Zepeda will have it to the left of the basket, looking to find Muniz open. Getting guarded pretty well, though. She drifts back midcourt. Back to Zepeda on the left wing. Thinks about the three now. Drives in. Then a no-look pass to Muniz in the left corner. Just didn't feel right, so she moves it around. Gets it to Ross. Ross, top of the arc, now drives in and takes it up. Tries to put it off the glass. No good. The ball loose on the court. Fight for it. Armitage comes up with it. Kicks it out to Muniz.
1 point away from mercy roll, Don.
Yeah, 47-13, a 34-point lead for Hobbs right now. And driving in is Armitage, but she loses it, pops up, and that's a turnover for Hobbs.
Kind of forced the ball towards the defender that time and just didn't get a good jump off the shot.
Almost stolen away. A shot up, no good. Ball loose. Controlled initially, I think is that Muniz down there? Yeah, Muniz, and she slips, goes down hard, but comes right back up.
We've had 2 players, one for each team, go flat first onto the ground, just face into the hardwood in that side of the court. So I'm not sure if it's slick or what's going on out there, or just physical play.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a little waxy. Sometimes you get a little bit of heavier wax, you know, in a spot or two. I don't know. You're ref, so you see the court and are on the court a lot on all kinds of different courts. And what's different or special about Tasker when you ref here? What do you think about it?
Well maintained.
Okay.
That's what you can say about Tasker. If you look on some of these other gyms, boy, they just let their gyms just go to pot, to be honest.
All right, so first one was up and good as Muniz sinks it, and all of her points tonight have come from the free throw line.
Yeah, 80% so far, 4 or 5.
And players checking in and out for Piedra Vista as well.
Clock running on the free throw now at the mercy roll right at 35.
It is, and the running clock will make that game disappear pretty fast. The free throw no good. Zepeda with the rebound, though. And then Caseland drifts back to three-point range. I think she'll trade the 1 point for the 3 anytime.
Second try of the game for the Lady Eagles.
And ball moving pretty quickly. Piedra Vista trying for that quick transition and gets down, but gonna take a shot in the lane, but 2 Lady Eagles right there, and yeah, they tie up the ball, have the hand on the ball long enough to tie it up, and Hobbs will get the ball out of the jump ball.
Counts as a turnover too, goes back to Hobbs on the arrow.
And Hobbs, Madison Zepeda brings it down quickly on the right side, gets it to Armitage. She tries the 3, won't fall, and no offensive rebound for Hobbs there, as it was Pierce who jumped up and got that. Gave it to John. John back in the game after sitting out with 3 fouls. And really, when Hobbs starters came back in, Piedra Vista countered, you know, and they brought John back in, and they've got their starters out there as well.
That's a 5th foul call. It's a double bonus both ways. The clock's going to run out, though, in this third quarter.
It will. It's 8 seconds and counting, and at the free throw line, they called that foul on Ross. First one is in. No, yeah, it is. I thought they didn't put it up immediately on the board, and I thought I saw that go down.
They'll have to clear the lane because that ran out the clock with the mercy roll. So one more shot for Yazzie. That was her first point of the ball game. Only their 5th score in this contest for Piedra Vista.
Yeah, 14 points right now. And the second one is up and rattles home as well. So Yazzie has 2. And now 15 points, and that's it for the third quarter. At the end of 3, it is Hobbs 51, Piedra Vista 15, and we'll be back with more Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball from Tasker Arena coming up.
For over 25 years, Eunice Pump and Supply has been more than just a business. They've been a part of the heartbeat of Eunice. From the oil fields to the classrooms, Eunice Pump and Supply is all in backing the athletes, cheering on scholars, and investing in the future of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply takes pride in their hard-working team, their dedication to excellence, and most of all, the youth. Visit Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, and now proudly serving Lovington at 321 North Main. Your hometown partner and a proud supporter of Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, local, loyal, and proud to serve.
And welcome back to Tasker Arena for Hobbs Lady Eagle playoff basketball on Hobbs Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. I'm Dawn Morgan with Ty Friend. And Hobbs definitely, they took care of business in the third quarter, but they did have a lot of the bench come in, younger players, seeing some of their first action for Hobbs at the varsity level, at all. So, but they did manage to go ahead and increase the score. At halftime, it was 36-7, and then Hobbs was able to make 15 points and get that in there for that third quarter. And actually, in that third quarter, from 7 to 15 points, Piedra Vista was able to more than double that up against some of the Hobbs younger players in that third quarter. But starters came back in. It's starters right here at the beginning of the fourth. It is running clock, 51-15. Piedra Vista with the ball, trying a three-pointer from the right corner, no good. And it's Kayla Manise with a rebound, her second. She kind of gets trapped up in that left corner, though. And
another
I think,
jump.
yeah, that was Barney who got her hand on it long enough for a jump ball. The arrow goes the way of the Hobbs girls this time.
Scoring through three quarters, Zoe Ross 14, Madsen Zepeda with 10 to combine for 24, and just 8 for John to lead Piedra Vista.
Yeah, as I've got Zoe Ross with the 14, 2 of those from the line here in the second half. And Hobbs with the ball. That is Zepeda leaving it off for Hardison. Over to Ross. Ross backing it up. Over to Armitage. Armitage driving in. Then kicks it out to Zepeda. Zepeda decides to get it to Manise, who is tuned up in a perfect, one of her favorite spots there outside the left wing from beyond the arc. And Manise with her second tray of the game.
Third double-digit score with 10 total now for the Lady Eagles.
54-15, a three-point attempt from the left corner by Piedra Vista, and Hardison with another rebound. They get it, Zepeda. Zepeda drives down, the timing not good on her, so she pulls up, gives it to Armitage. Armitage tries it, no good. And then the rebound by Hardison, and the putback's good, and she's got 4 points in the game. Now John coming the other way for Piedra Vista. Spin move in the lane, puts up a shot, no good, and Hardison with another rebound for Hobbs.
And she's got 5 now.
56-15 your score. A pass was just too quick. Zepeda in the corner, not quite ready for it. Goes in and out of her hand, so it'll be a Hobbs turnover.
One category or stat that Piedra Vista has been leading the Lady Eagles in this game has been rebounds through three quarters, 23-20. But scoreboard is where it counts for the W and moving on to the quarterfinals next week.
That's definitely it, and it looks definitely Hobbs is going to be able to do that easily here in the fourth quarter. Running clock, under 6 minutes left, and Piedra Vista with the ball. They give it to John. She drives in the lane, puts up the ball up and in from the left, and she's got 2 more points in the game.
First player to score double digits for Piedra Vista.
10. She's got 10 in the game. 10 of the 17 that the Lady Panthers have on the board. Coming the other way, Zoe Ross at the top of the arc passed it off to the corner, and a ball up. But
I think a screen foul.
Yeah, they're going to call the foul on Hobbs. And they call that on Hardison. It's her second.
Coach Carpenter wishing that was an after the shot foul to take the 3 and move on.
Exactly.
But
oh, boy. So just a little over 5 minutes left in this one. Running clock, of course. Hobbs will move on. They'll win this one. Oh, and Hobbs faithful, whose collective basketball IQ is very high indeed, watching, and they caught that. And yes, and they called that.
Did the crowd help the ref on that one? He waited about 20 seconds before he made the call. It's offensive.
It was a slow whistle there, but he got it. So, and that foul was on John, and that's her 4th. So it's on the floor. Hobbs are inbounds. That's Manise to Zepeda.
41 turnovers for Piedra Vista.
Wow. Zepeda to Armitage. Armitage putting it off hard off the glass. No good. And it's Pierce who comes with the rebound. Pierce gets it up to Royce. Back to Pierce. Still in the backcourt. Now across the timeline. A bump. No call there. Ross almost steals it away. Then a three-point attempt from Pierce from the left wing. No good. And coming up with it was Ross to Zepeda. Zepeda pulls back. Armitage over to Ross. Now Ross from the left corner takes the three-point shots, no good. A rebound and the putback for Hobbs, no good, but then a whistle sounds, and it's going to be a Hobbs foul.
Well, they said it hit the strap on the top of the backboard there.
There you go. So
I'll tell you one thing, Don. I'm really impressed with Hardison's rebounding. She's really getting off the floor. She's got 6 boards for Lady Eagles, 4 points, and really getting off that hardwood, which is what you want to see a center to do, your post player, not just taking advantage of your height, but also getting off the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. We've watched Godwin, really develop as a player as well. In that when she is in that center position, she started scoring points in the last half of this season as well. She's not on the floor. She's on the floor right now, but did not have the basketball. Shot up, and the rebound actually by Mendoza that time. Jordan Mendoza also doing some good work off the bench for Hobbs in some of the games that I had called. I had noticed her as well. Godwin passes to Rivera, who takes the three look from the left corner, no good, but the rebound for Hobbs, and then it's picked off. So a turnover for Hobbs, and give it to Piedra Vista. John takes the pass across the timeline, gets it to Pierce. Pierce over to Royce. Ball pops up in the lane. It's anybody's ball, kind of a free-for-all. Barney takes it up and in, and she's got 2 points.
First bucket of the ball game for her as well.
Yeah. And give it to make it 56-19. A timeout being taken by the Lady Panthers, and it's a full 60. We'll take it with them and be back in 30 seconds with more Hobbs Lady Eagle playoff basketball on the way.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. In fact, it should be exciting. That's why Robinson & Associates Real Estate Group stands out. They don't just hand you paperwork. They give you real answers to your real questions like, how much can I afford, or what's my house really worth? With Robinson & Associates, you'll feel confident, informed, and maybe even have a little fun along the way. Because moving isn't just about houses, it's about starting the next chapter of your life. So if you or someone you know is buying or selling a home, log on to LeeCountyHomes.com. Robinson & Associates Real Estate Group, making real estate real and making it yours. For all your grocery specials, shop Thriftway and La Tienda in Hobbs. The best deals in fresh produce, fresh meat, and vegetables, frozen and dairy, health and beauty, and so much more. With the friendliest and most knowledgeable staff, Thriftway and La Tienda. For all your grocery specials, come on down to La Tienda, 400 East Marland, and Thriftway, 1317 North Turner in Hobbs. Best of luck, Eagles, from all of your friends at Thriftway and La Tienda grocery stores.
And welcome back to Tasco Arena. More Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball, but only 2:38 left on the clock, and it's running clock, so it won't take long for this game to be over. I'm Dawn Morgan with Ty Friend, and Hobbs Lady Eagles will move on. This is the must-win play-in game to get to Albuquerque next week, and it will happen. Hobbs inbound, still in the backcourt. That's Rivera over there to Navarro. Navarro almost losing it. Rivera picks it back up, getting double-teamed, triple-teamed by Piedra Vista, who's fighting to the end here. A slow start for Hobbs in this one, but they came away and really stretched it out. A shot up, no good. Godwin's going to chase the rebound down and leave it off for Rivera. Rivera near center court. Hobbs burning a little clock here, but they're bench in. Mariah Mojica, bounce pass out, and driving in with it, I think, was that Jordan Mendoza?
She lost the ball out of bounds, though. That'll only be the 10th turnover of the ball game compared to that major mess they've been having on the other side. 41 turnovers for Piedra Vista.
Wow. Yeah. There's no way that you win a ball game when you turn over the ball that much, unless the other team's turning it over just as much.
And a long road trip back to Farmington tonight or maybe tomorrow.
And a three shot on the way, no good. And it's Navarro who ends up with the rebound, coming out with it. Still in the backcourt, though. Now gets it up to Navarro. Rivera, that was. Rivera to Navarro. Back to Rivera. Now Godwin, and she tries to put two in. It does not fall. Hickman with a rebound. I've got that down as her sixth. To Barney. Barney tries the tray. Godwin gets a hand on it, but Rivera with the rebound for Hobbs. Taking it coast to coast. Tries to put it in. Runs into a player. Are they going to call Royce for it, or are they going to call the charge on Rivera? I think they call Royce. 56-19 and running clock. 48 seconds on that clock.
They call that on the floor regardless, so they won't get a free throw out of it. But that clock might only have
Royce,
This might be last possession right here.
This could be it. 37 seconds. Hobbs will inbound to the left of their basket as they will move on to the state tournament. Oh, a quick inbound to Godwin, and Godwin may be the one to score the last points of the ball game. We'll see. She's got actually 4 in the game. As Piedra Vista hanging on to it, looking for a shot. Hobbs keeping him out of the paint and doing some pretty good defense. In fact, Rivera just walks up, steals it away, takes it up, does not get it to fall, but the whistle sounds, and she does draw the foul. However, the clock is going to run out, I think, before they can. Nope, they're going to go ahead and stop that. So Rivera will go to the line. And they call number 5, Courtney Begay, her first foul. 3.2 seconds left on the clock right now. 58-19 is your score. And it's up and good. So Rivera adding another point. I've got her down with 8 right now. 5 points in that first half, and now 3 and a chance to make it 4 at the line. And that one is no good. It pops out. Piedra Vista will have it, and the clock runs out. The buzzer sounds, and Hobbs is the winner. 59-19, a 40-point victory for Hobbs in this one against Piedra Vista Lady Panthers. And we will be back in a couple of minutes with a quick post-game wrap-up. We'll talk about next week and what this means for the Hobbs girls, and we'll be back. Congratulations to the Lady Eagles, though, and safe travels to Piedra Vista, making that long bus ride back up to near Farmington. Wow. 59-19, your final score. Not a surprise, but still a good win for Hobbs, and a big sigh of relief as they make it through and into the state tournament in Albuquerque next week. We'll be back to wrap this one up in just a few minutes. More Lady Eagle basketball coming up from Tasker Arena.
The Coffee House offers a revitalizing menu of coffee, tea, and specialty drinks, just the way you like it. Enjoy your favorite drink with a whole latte love at the Coffee House. The Coffee House, another proud supporter of all Lee County athletics. Coffee House is locally owned and operated and is dedicated to fostering a sense of community in Lee County and in the surrounding areas. The Coffee House, 1103 North Grimes.
When you want the job done right, trust the professionals at DNC Electric for all your electrician's needs. DNC Electric does oil well installations, battery installations, power lines, automation electric motor repairs, transformer repair, and so much more. When you want a reliable, dependable electrician for all your commercial and industrial services, call DNC Electric 492-0044, 575-492-0044. DNC Electric, 1444 West Broadway.
Listen up. You asked for it, you got it. Introducing all-in pricing from TDS. Get ultra-powerful 1 gig internet for just $49.99 a month for 2 years. No gimmicks, no gotchas. Plus, no contract, free installation, and a powerful Wi-Fi router included. All in? Oh yeah. Visit hellotds.com today. Internet speeds are up to and not guaranteed. Subject to availability. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
All right, and welcome back to Tasker Arena as we get ready to wrap this one up. 59-19, your final score. Hobbs Lady Eagles punching their ticket to Albuquerque to play on Tuesday, and I believe I looked at the brackets, and I believe they play an afternoon game on Tuesday at 4:45. I believe so.
Right.
I think so. That my first inclination as I looked at that, because it looks like. Tatum expected to win over Eunice and was ahead, I believe, at halftime. And looks like they are going to get the 8 a.m. game, I think, at Rio Rancho Star Center. And let's see, what was the final in that? Tatum 61, Eunice 35 in the fourth.
Look at that,
Okay.
Lovington score,
Oh, yeah,
Dawn.
Lovington, yeah. You mentioned that Lovington was up by 4 in the fourth over Portales. So, and that's an 8-9, very well matched. Of course, those two teams battling all season long at that. Jowl, wow, they pull up in the fourth. It looks like they're poised for an upset over McCurdy, 38-33 right now in the fourth. Wow. Who was feeding those scores to you? Is that Evie?
Yeah, Tiffany and Evie at the station.
Tiffany Evie. So thanks very much for forwarding those and monitoring our games and so forth. So that Portales Lovington, those two teams, they played overtime, in one of their games, and they battled each other. It's not surprising they're 8-9, and it's just a shame that they have to actually play each other, and one of them doesn't move on to the state tournament.
And a KZR employee, too. No
Yeah,
more
that's
broadcasting.
true. Yeah.
The Big Todd Center there.
Would that Abby
Lovington.
Schaus, yeah, absolutely, yeah. So we'll see how that one shakes out. This one is in the books, and this one, I had Zoe Ross as the top scorer for Hobbs with 14 points. Does that agree with what you've got, Ty?
It looks like that is true, and 4 rebounds, too.
Yeah, and she had two in the first half and 2 in the second half. Along with her 14 points, and she had like a gazillion steals. I had her down for 5 steals in that first half.
And 4 for 5 on the line, too, 80% from the charity stripe.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very solid. Had a good game, but she wasn't the only one. Had a lot of Lady Eagles in the stats. I had Zepeda, Madison Zepeda, the other Lady Eagle with double digits. I have her for 10 points as well, and she had a couple of steals, couple of boards, and assists as well in that one.
3 rebounds, 2 for 2 on the line, too.
Nice work, and some 8 points, I believe, for Corelli Rivera, including a 3-pointer, and so good work and coming off the bench for Hobbs in there as well. And Kaysla Manise, she really found her footing in that second half, and she popped 2 trays and ended up with 10 points, I believe, as well. She had 10 points in the game. 2 of them were 3-pointers, and she did good work at the line. She only missed 1 at the free throw line tonight.
Definitely doing a good job of going high up on the off the floor, getting up over the rim, getting some foul calls against the Piedra Vista squad, and really getting a chance, like you said, to get to the free throw line. So definitely helping out the cause. Hobbs 63% from the line, getting kind of close to their average on the season. They came into this contest at 65, a little bit below that, a couple percentage points, but again, big win regardless.
Oh, absolutely. I think they turned the ball over only 10 times. I think that I'd had it in, 43?
42.
42, okay, 43. I'm sorry, I gave 43,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Peter wishes they could have the 42 points. I mean,
exactly. And, that's just something that they were battling as a team, facing all season long, not just here. We mentioned at the very beginning of the game, Ty had that stat, and that was going to be something, that's just plagued them all season long. They'd be doing a lot better. And for them, of course, it was Shane John with 10 points in the game, and she was the leading scorer for them, of course.
Boy, talk about the defense, though, Dawn. We talk about Jamie Pierce being their top scorer this season at 14.8. No buckets in this game, 3 for 4 on the line. Coach Carpenter had her shut down. She was sitting the bench. I know you mentioned that several times. Oh, she's back on the court, but they had her stifled out there, and really was out of her element. She's a senior too, so they're going to lose her next year. But nobody even close to getting to double digits except for John, as you already mentioned, and she did some rebounding for him, 7 boards.
She did.
I mean, turnovers are costly. Hobbs actually got the rebounding numbers back in their column late in the fourth, 30-26. They were down boards most of the game. I think a lot of that had to do with the first quarter of one and done type of stuff, missing some threes, and the rebound for Piedra Vista. But they got themselves back in it in that fourth quarter so they could wipe out with all the stats and the score win, too.
And, you talk about seniors for Piedra Vista. They're losing Pierce and John this was their final game for their high school career in regular season. So, in playoffs, actually. They made it into the playoffs, so they can say that. They definitely they made the playoffs and went down in the first round, but made the playoffs for the state tournament. Then both of them will be graduating. Speaking of seniors, this was the final home court experience for Madison Cepeda, Aliana Armitage, for Areli Navarro, and for Katie Godwin. Let's hope that they enjoyed the experience and that it's a good memory and it's a big win for sure. Not a close game in terms of like an exciting, close game that you remember, but you certainly remember your last game that you played on home court as a senior. So we say congratulations to the Lady Eagles, and of course Tuesday 4:45. Who will they go against? Ty, you've got the bracket up.
Go ahead, you got it.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Oh, Hobbs will go Las Cruces
or
La Cueva. One of the two. That's an 8-9 battle.
Yeah, boy.
And it's a pick 'em right there.
Yeah, and of course, Albuquerque, a lot of the top teams, coming from that area. But Hobbs won the APS Metro tournament. I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. I know Coach Carpenter and I were talking about that today too. Is that Hobbs sitting at number 1 for most of the season, but I think that kind of put the feather in the cap when they take on some of those APS schools, the perennials, Albuquerque High, the Sandia types, things like that, win that tournament and playing tough teams, and that gave them the go-ahead to be that number 1 seed. So that's going to be a tough battle for either one of those teams, and of course they're going to knock themselves out here hard probably tonight. I don't know, we don't have any final on that yet, but maybe in just a second I can find that out. Looks like we've got some updates on some of those games. Boy, Lovington 40-39 now. 1 point lead. I don't have a time left in the fourth there.
Right.
Also, Jal still leads McCurdy by 5. And looks like a final in the Tatum game. So we got two Lee County teams punch tickets already.
Right.
Tatum beat Eunice 61-38. That was pretty much through the game. But
Right.
again, Lovington up by 1, Jal up by 5. Those are 2 upsets waiting to happen.
Tatum and Hobbs are sure things, and they will see action. Tatum at 8 a.m., I believe. Hobbs later in the afternoon, 4:45. Hobbs will play at the pit. The 2A, 3A games are at Rio Rancho Star Center. Is that still the name of that? It changes from time to time, but I
way
think
up on
that's
the
still
hill.
it. Yeah, and it's way out there. So we'll be definitely keeping you up to date on that on sports. We'll give you the what's next for those teams. We'll know Monday, of course, for sure how that all. We'll tell you Monday morning for sure how it all shakes out. We'll know before then, but. Look for that information. And, of course, we'll have game day posts for you. Ooh, is that a final?
Final for the
La Cueva over Las Cruces, 56-36. La Cueva ended up not having too much trouble with them. So it's La Cueva
Right.
that Hobbs will see.
That's an upset.
That is.
9 beat the 8 on
beat
that
the
one.
8,
So.
yeah. All right, so it's Hobbs versus La Cueva on Tuesday afternoon, 4:45. So definitely watch our Facebook pages for the game day posts that will give you the links, tell you who's playing whom, when, how to watch, how to listen, where to go for it. You can also catch all of that information on the front page at hobbsamerican.com. We got to get out of here. They're going to throw us out as the gym is emptying, and your broadcast crew needs to go home as well. Thank you very much, Ty Friend, tonight on this game with us. Thanks to Evie and Tiff. And thank you. Final thoughts and words, Ty? Anything?
Nope. I mean, you said it earlier, slow starts,
Yep.
but defense, perimeter defense got it going, stealing basketballs, taking it the other way for transition game, and started to rebound a little bit better in the fourth quarter. That's what the tenacious of the Hobbs 8 Eagles don't always need the 3-shot. You mentioned that in the pregame show. Defense, I think, drives this offense and gets it kind of motivated to get some more points on the scoreboard. Kind of a drizzly start, but a nice flood of water and flooding out the Piedra Vista team at the end.
Yeah, it was a little scary at first. I mean, 10-5 was the end of your first quarter score with Hobbs leading, but 59-19 is we'll take that at the end. So big difference from 10-5 and then 59-19, and that's it. I'm Dawn Morgan. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, and thanks to our sponsors, and good luck to everybody moving forward from Lee County. We'll know more when the dust settles. And the Hobbs boys, of course, are playing tomorrow night. You're going to have that game. You and TJ Miracle will have that game right here where we sit tomorrow night. So that's going to be interesting, too.
Yeah, they beat Oregon Mountain earlier this season on the road. Hobbs did by 1 point. And Oregon Mountain and Centennial really moved themselves up in the bracket, or their district down there. Las Cruces dropped. They lost a couple of games late, so they went way. In fact, they're lower than Hobbs in the seedings for the state tournament. Las Cruces. They beat Las Cruces beat Hobbs by about 15 or so here at Tasker. So very interesting to see that game. Can't take that one for granted. I hope the 6-man shows up here. If not, they better be listening and watching.
Definitely. If you want to watch more great basketball and you're not through, one more game, one more home game, one more chance to see Hobbs Eagles. The Lady Eagles were tonight. Tomorrow night it's the boys. Definitely pack the gym and enjoy. And that's going to do it. Let's put a wrap on it and say one more final good evening. This has been Hobbs Lady Eagle State Basketball Playoff action on Hobbs Sports YouTube and HobbsAmerica.com. Good evening.